here it goes. Now you gotta clear that.
It's clear.
Okay. There you go. You go ahead and start it, David.
Oh, I thought you were.
That's why I asked you.
And then I said you.
Oh.
Okay. Mother, Father, God, as we come together here today, we ask for the highest and best in our meditations and actions, thoughts, words, and actions, so that we have a clear understanding of who we are and where we are, and the protection is high and a well for each and every one of us. Amen.
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 All right. So today we are talking again about breath, and Reverend Dave is going to go over a few things, and then I'll switch over, and yeah, so that's how we'll do this today.
Okay. Are there any questions on what we did last week?
I've been doing the cotton ball at night, and it works, but the other part of me that's, the unconscious Casey pulls it out probably midnight because I'm like, I can't handle it. And it's not me. I would leave it in, but at least I'm getting some of it. I'd rather get some practice than no practice.
And that's important to realize, in that you don't have to be 100% successful with this. And to change a habit, it takes time and effort.
Yes.
And most people get discouraged and then they completely stop. But you keep on doing it, and it'll start working. And with you, you have difficult breathing, right?
Yeah, in this nostril, yeah.
And you think that you're not using that nostril, but you really are. You have never stopped using that nostril. And so by doing this, you will free yourself from some habits that you've had, other thing that sort of it opens up a whole bunch of knowledge within your life. And you in your meditations, what you will do, with the breathing exercise that we give you, you will open up more knowledge, and more knowledge is things that we're not familiar with. And right now, with the world that it's in, the whole universe is in alignment as it was 25,000 years ago, and the knowledge that was utilized at that time is now active again, and we're not really familiar with that. So when you come across something that is not familiar, start becoming more familiar with it. Just concentrate on, observe it, and everything like this, and you'll get other ideas how you can improve your life. And so with the breathing that we have, is that the last week we went through the correct breathing and everything like this, and so there's another breathing exercise that we have, is that we get the rhythm of our self with our heart, and you go to your pulse, heart, and everything, and count. I usually start with 7 or 8. Not 7. That's an odd number. 8 pulse. Hold. Inhale 8 pulse. Hold for 4 pulse, and then exhale for 4 pulse. And through the nostrils. When you breathe through the nostril, you are relaxing. When you breathe in the nostrils and out the mouth, you are energized. And you notice that when you go to meditations during the night, you at nighttime you find more energy and you get activated more and everything. And so try breathing through the nostrils in and out during the night, and then during the day to coordinate it with that, and with the finding the pulse of the heart, rhythm of the heart, everything, is that we concentrate on touching each part of the body, and when we get into healing we get into the significance of the body. And when you are breathing into that part of the body, that organ is going to help you to have more knowledge with you too. And so we go through a meditation that as you breathe, remember when you breathe through the nostrils, they go through the nostrils, and there's gates on both sides of your nostrils, and going into the brain, and we massage the brain. When you breathe through the nostrils, you are massaging that, and every thought that you have in that massage goes through that impulse to there, and it moves directly to the pineal gland, and also the medulla is an interesting part. The medulla sends us impulses to the heart, and in that impulses to the heart are your thoughts. You know, when people get really excited and everything, or angry or everything, that medulla is really activated. So when you're getting into a situation where it may be a hectic or anything like this, peace, I am still, with that breath, is going to go into that direction, and you'll find yourself being a little bit more calmer, and you find answers for you that don't make any sense, and then you, just because they don't make any sense, don't forget them, just do them, and you'll find out that that's good and everything like this. And so when you touch each part of the body in the meditation, you know, you're breathing. What you breathe is you're thinking. That's a thought, and when you touch each part of the body, you're going to each part of the body. That impulse that you are hearing is flowing through with that and everything, and it'll move into a direction that will help you understand. Part of our course is to know thyself, and there's so much that we do not know. I've been doing this for 50 some years, and I'm finding things about myself I never thought I had. And sometimes I have a nice conversation with myself. So, but I also learn to ease up that and everything. And by touching each part of the body, everything you thought is going into that thought and into that body. And the thing here is that your thoughts are not away from you. Your thoughts are within you. And when that tells you that everything that you think is inside you. And that's activating things that are you're not aware of and everything. And by moving through the body, you can going through the brain, and you're able to open up yourself into things that are very calm and everything like this. And so at the end of the class, I would like to take a meditation like this, so that you can get more. This meditation rhythmic will help you dream, remember your dreams too. And you know, when you're sleeping, you're still activated and everything. And so if we have time today, I'd like to do that, to give that to you. If it don't, I can make a tape and send it to you. Okay?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Do you want me to read about the correct breath and then read about the rhythmic breath?
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so breathing techniques, steps to correct breath is we sit erect in a relaxed, comfortable position, and we inhale steadily through both or either nostril, and we fill the lower part of the lung. We fill the middle lung, and then we fill the upper chest, And this gives the lung support and aids in filling the uppermost part of the lung. Then we go and we inhale with a steady, continuous rhythm. And we retain for 4 seconds. So, for a few seconds, either 4, 8, or 12, until you can hold it up to 16 seconds or heartbeats. So we go gradually, step by step, and we begin with 4 seconds. It just depends on the person's level of breathing techniques. If they haven't been doing breathing techniques, often, you'll find that 4 would just be substantial to start. So we exhale slowly through the mouth, shaped in the letter O. So that's our exhale. So we hold our chest in a firm position, and we draw our abdomen in a little and lifting up slowly as the air leaves the lungs, relaxing the chest and abdomen, and every part of the respiratory system is stimulated. So be patient, and mastery comes with repetition. Do correct breath flow 3 to 7 times a day. Just whenever you're taking a break or whatever it is, going through that. And so our posture is really important because the flow through central channel, etc., is that's why they're talking about shoulders back but relaxed. If we have our shoulders over, our breathing is really, do you remember what we talked about last week, where if our posture is really off, how do we breathe healthfully? So that's very important, to really kind of pay attention to where we're sitting, like reposition ourselves, those kinds of things. Cars are great, like where you're at there. It's like you could do this anywhere, you could do it while you're at the stop sign, stoplight or whatever, those things really work out.
Now, how long is the exhale?
However long you need it to be, really. There isn't
Okay, there isn't any number to it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's not the same thing that Reverend David was talking about when he was talking about the 8 pulses in, hold for 4 pulses, and out for 4 pulses.
Yeah, what I'm reading here, it doesn't describe the exhale. What would you say, David?
I try to get the rhythm in there. If you're inhaling for 8, then holding for 4, and then
Exhale
for 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
okay.
do the exact same amount what you inhaled, and then exhale the same amount until you get more and more.
Right.
Like I said, like up to 16.
Right.
That's pretty good. I remember when I was doing this quite often, a lot more than I am right now. So this is very good to remind you of your breath, because breath is the breath of life. Everything. I do notice one thing for sure is when I'm in a situation that's requiring me either to, for one, may have a trigger, 2, for something like a necessity to do something strenuous, anything, even say David, when you might have fell and then you get shaken up, and then now you got to create more energy to get yourself up. Those kinds of things where just settle yourself for a minute, because it does create strength also. So there's it's really helpful in many situations. I find when I just have a little trigger over a conversation, which is really kind of strange that they show up, these things show up to say goodbye, and someone will just say one thing and it has nothing to do with whatever you think it's to do with. You say, wow, I'm triggered. Just take a moment before you speak any words. Just do the cleansing breath, do the correct breath, get in there and just give yourself a moment to release that, because it's just trying to say goodbye so you can replace, it's I remember one day, David said something and I think I already said this before, but it was really substantial for me because I got really triggered. Like I got really upset with him. And I started to say something back to him. And I got really teary-eyed. It just came all out. And it was something that my mom had said. And it showed up. It showed up right there. And I go, thank you for saying that. I go, thank you for saying that. It just showed up to say goodbye. And then I kind of but these things do happen. It's just something that someone creates for you to release it. And you're like, what is this? And sometimes we appear like we're crazy people, but we're really just letting go or completing it out. And some of that stuff could be our past lives too.
Mhm.
We may not know what that is, but breath is so fabulous. So I thanked him. He just said, okay. He's like, whoa. At any rate, okay, so rhythmic breath method. Everything beats in time in measured rhythm. And rhythm is necessary characteristics of all motion. Antagonistic forces acting in opposition opposed and get in tune with certain great rhythmic vibrations of nature and thus are able to partake of her energies and strengths, because we know earth is her yin energy, warm energy. Rhythmic motion of breath, universal energy, vital energy, prana, yin, weakens, arouse, and direct the action of the key of power kundalini. Direct forces of breath in any desired source. Each person has their own rhythm reached by learning the pulse beat and rhythm of the individual. So sitting erect is an easy position. And when David was talking about touching the body, this is what he meant. So holding your chest, your neck, and head in a straight line. And you guys could do this if you choose to, if you want to just kind of play with this. Shoulders should be slightly drawn back with your hands on your lap. So what you'll do is, number one, you'll inhale slowly for a complete breath or 6 heartbeats. So some people hold, their either where they can find their heartbeat, in certain locations, or just their breath. It's their choice, whatever they want to do. You retain it for 3 heartbeats or 3 breaths. Exhale slowly from the nostrils, 6 heartbeats. And then you count 3 pulse beats between the breaths. Repeat it, but avoid fatiguing yourself. And finish with a cleansing breath. Do you guys remember the cleansing breath from last week? Do you want me to repeat that
I
one?
was gonna say, I think I need a refresher.
Okay. Where did it go? Give me a minute. David, are you able to just say it, the cleansing breath? Or do you want me to read that here?
Go ahead and read it.
Okay. Give me a minute.
For some reason, I didn't write it down.
Right.
Yeah, I
Wow.
don't recall.
Huh.
Normally I have a pretty good
I
recollection.
wonder if we missed the word cleansing.
Here it
when
is.
we were talking.
My apologies. On the other side. I was like, where's this cleansing breath? That's the first one. Okay, so you got what we were talking about for rhythmic. Now, when we go to cleansing breath, that one is inhale as deeply as possible, no exertion or strain, and retain from 4 to 8 seconds. And you exhale lips in whistling position. Do not puff out the cheeks. Let out little at a time, very vigorously in short blasts. When tired, it's very refreshing. So these ones are really good when you need like energy, like say 2 o'clock or whatever, 4 o'clock, when people kind of, I need a coffee or whatever it is, the cleansing breath is really good. So
I don't think you
nice
talked
and
about
smooth.
that last week.
Oh, okay. Maybe we missed it. We might have missed it.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So we inhale deeply as possible. So we just do this right now. We'll do a nice, I can't do it because I
Can't
have to
talk
say
at the
it.
same time.
I'm like, I don't think I'll be able to do this. But we have our nice posture, relaxed, no exertion, no strain, just a nice deep breath. And we hold it for 4 to 8 seconds. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we exhale through the lips. See how David's doing that? But you're not going to puff out. You're not going to go, you just like whistle, right? Almost, David.
Yep, mhm.
And you let out a little at a time very vigorously. And that's it. So you just keep doing those over and over. And it creates energy. So there's different ones, but that would be at the end of the heartbeat one.
It's actually a good
Rhythmic.
exercise to do after every meditation.
Uh-huh. To get ourselves grounded pretty much too, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, get our feet on the ground, get a grounding pad or get in the grass somewhere and start doing some cleansing breaths.
Mhm.
You'll find where, some of these meditations are pretty deep, and depending on how long they do them, wow. I mean, sometimes it's overboard and we're off in la la land and, then people drive off. It's like, oh my gosh, don't leave. Like, just get yourself situated,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
On the rhythmic breath, it was in 6.
Okay, it's inhale, slowly, complete breath, or 6 heartbeats. So yeah, 6. Retain it for 3 heartbeats, or counting to 3. And then exhale slowly from the nostrils, 6. So the same amount. And then count 3 pulse beats between breaths. And then repeat, but refrain from fatiguing yourself. So don't do it too much. The whole point of all of these, by the way, go back, start with the cleansing breath after that. The whole point is to not over fatigue ourselves or get ourselves in a point where, David, say for instance, your story, do you want to tell your story about the hospital?
Oh, yeah, I had an operation a long time ago, and the doctor set me up on morphine.
ooh,
He said, do this each day, And so he come in the next day, he says, you didn't use no more? I said, I don't need it. You don't need it? Because I've been using the breath for pain, and I never did take any morphine. And I never had to take any medication for pain because I did the exercise for pain. And so it really works.
They kept coming in there for like 4 days or something like that.
And it saved me a lot of money because
Yeah, I bet.
morphine going into your body, they charge you to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, that one is so interesting. He had just a lost balance, and I just said, don't forget about your breath, because he got kind of shaken up, right? Your body gets shaken when you do something out of, and and some of us who might have an availability for our limbs, etc., to a little bit more strength or something might not get shaken, but inside we are shaken, you
Yeah.
know, and it just shows up in certain cases. So when I saw the shaking, I was like, breath, you know, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, we just, okay. And then he was able to stand up.
There's not to get too off, it's still about breath, but there is a person named Wim Hof.
Yeah.
Wim Hof, I'm sure you heard of him. And he teaches you to do these deep belly inhales for 30 seconds. And you go, and then he has you exhale all your air out and hold. And you just lay there. Everything tingles, your whole body tingles. And then hold it as long as you can. I think the longest I've held was 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And you do this for 30 minutes. And by the 30 minutes, I opened my eyes and I saw all these like stars and twinkles. It was like I was on some kind of medicine. But yeah, it's a little off topic, but man, my energy levels spiked. Like I had a
Yeah.
cup of coffee and my anxiety dropped. Like I had
Totally.
something that was relaxing. So yeah, breath work is amazing.
He does some amazing things. I mean, he's really gotten people to, you know, heal their bodies through
Yes.
breath. And so the Chinese, they've been doing that type of breath for a long time. And so I knew that through Qigong, that type of breath that he's doing, Wim Hof. And when I saw him do his videos and everything else, and I saw him on a TV show, I went specifically just to see his show, and then seeing him in the ice and everything else, and laying in ice, and it was like, oh my gosh. But the whole point was really alkalizing your body and really being able to breathe well, and it clears and cleans up your whole body through that. So that was very, I mean, it was to an extreme level, but it really did put breathing on the map. Where I know with meditation and yoga, etc., they do that kind of work, or qigong, but he really put it, you know, he really got himself out there. And so that's neat that people do, you know him, and that breath is important. And he really did make it a point where people understood how important it is. So thank you, Wim Hof. So we do have other ones that we'll go over next week, because there's a lot of them. And the whole thing is David had one for pain, so we'll teach that one too. And what I was getting at about doing too much, say for instance, for him, when he was doing the pain type of breathing, that was perfect being in the hospital. He needed that for morphine in exchange. If we do it too much where we don't need it, let's just say we got a little bit of a tweak in our neck and we want to work with the pain breathing, it would be good to just do small proportions of it, and not to do it too drastic, because you could end up going to the bathroom. There are situations like that where it's very strong and it's very effective. In teaching Qigong, I know that the first master that I had learned from, he said, now, if you feel dizzy, you got your partners on the side of you, just kind of tip over on the side of them. You're not going to pass out. But in the case of a Wim Hof situation, where like the same thing for this pain breath, you could kind of go out of consciousness a bit and back in if you're not prepared. So getting yourselves to a point where it's a habit is good, and you'll know your body. Like, you start to pay attention to your body, what your body needs and what is too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting. So we'll go over pain on the next one. We did rhythmic. We could do renewing breath, but we don't want to do too many on the same day, because it'll just make us go wacko, right, David?
Right.
Okay, so David, are you wanting to do the meditation today? Or would you like me to do it?
I'd like you to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna take 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab it.
Right. And one thing about the pain thing, if you do it too much, if you're constipated, do it, because that's what happens to you.
Yeah.
You will loosen yourself up and but don't do it when you got a good bowel movement. Don't do it more than five or six times.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so with everything that we've talked about, let us self-realize who we are and what we've done too from our past lives. We could have been, the healers teaching the breath. And so this is always a good reflection of everything that we know truly in our interior. So we will close our eyes and get comfortable. And let us concentrate on our breath. As this breath moves through the nostrils, it relaxes each muscle, nerve, and vessel in our being. This breath is what sustains you. It is the breath of life. Feel the relaxation as this breath brings to your being. As this relaxation moves gently in and around each part of your being, it turns into something very beautiful called love. You recognize this love as being alive and active with each breath. Just relax and recognize. As you exhale, you release physical toxins and negative attitudes you have towards yourself and all people concerned. Relax, recognize, and release. As you're releasing the toxins and attitudes, they are being dispersed into the I am. Gently allow this breath to settle into the feet area. This is the understanding part of our being, and as you understand yourself clearly, then you understand the world that you move in. Just relax, recognize, and release. Feel all tension, nervousness, and frustration leave as this breath moves to the ankles and up the legs. Feeling all the agitations and irritations being dissolved. Relax, recognize, and release. As this breath moves to the hip area, relax and release that which does not belong to you. The hip represents independent movement. You are now free to move in life and free to be you. Very gently allow the breath to move to the base of the spine and the small of the back. Allow the breath to stay here for a few moments. This breath becomes stronger and stronger, for this is the strength area. Strength is confidence, security, and firmness. Now allow the breath to move up the spine. As this breath touches all vertebrae, muscles, and nerves, you feel enlightened, giving up the burdens that do not belong to you and taking care of what does belong to you. As this breath moves to the spine, you feel confident, secure, and firm. Relax, recognize, and release that which does not belong to you. As this breath touches the shoulders, feel all tension, nervousness, and frustration leaving. The shoulders represent responsibility in life, and know with each breath that you are doing your responsibility in life with freedom and ease. You also allow all other people to do their responsibilities with the same freedom and ease. Allowing this breath now to move down the arms, relaxing, recognizing, and releasing, reaching the hands. The hands are the giving and receiving part of our being, and we give to receive and receive to give. As this breath is in the hands area, feel the breath that's between your hands and how good this breath feels. This goodness is you and you are extremely good. Take this goodness that is you and place it in the lower abdomen area. The greatest gift of all lies here, life. You are full of life, and life is full of you. You are happiness, health, and wealth, which is life. You eliminate all that hinders you from life, and you put order into your life. Order is the adjusting of all mind powers, moving in harmonious manner for life. Very gently now, allow the breath to move to the stomach area. The stomach is the judgment area, and let us fully and freely release all mistakes and judgments that we have made that have led to mistake in action. Replace with correct judgments that lead to correct action. Relax, recognize, and release. Feel all tension, nervousness, and frustration leaving, allowing this breath to move to the heart area. The heart is the love area of our being, and with each beat of the heart, love moves to each part of our body. We radiate this love, and wherever we go, this radiance is felt, and the universe gives back to you that radiance. Relaxing, recognizing, and releasing that which does not belong to you. Very gently allowing this breath to move to the throat area. The throat is the power area in life. You are in command of your life, and you are at ease with that command. Relax, recognize, and release that which does not belong to you. Very gently allowing the breath to move to the back of the head, to the very crown of the head. From the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, you are relaxing, recognizing, and releasing. As you are in the relaxed state, think, feel, or see yourself walking down a path. You feel the path beneath your feet. You notice the green grass that lines this path. You notice the sun twinkling through the trees that also line this path. As you walk down the path, there's a gentle breeze that touches your body. This is the breath of life. It allows you to take the next step in knowing yourself. As you walk down the path, there's a clearing in front of you. As you walk to the clearing, the softness of the grass touches your feet. Knowing that you are very protected, you walk into the clearing. There is a body of water that is crystal clear and warm to your touch. There are paths that lead away from the clearing. And as you walk to the body of water, if you choose to go into the water, submerging completely in the water, breathing freely and all organs functioning properly, know that you are very protected. If you choose to lay beside the water, absorbing the four elements, the sun, water, air, and earth, or you may choose to explore the paths, feel free to do so and enjoy. remembering all that you have seen, sensed, felt, or heard, and feeling very refreshed and keen. You notice your healing clarity from your healing circle. You notice that every one of us surround this healing circle, and you notice that we become one healing breath. One healing breath. We direct this healing breath to the healing box, and for all the souls making and have made transition, all the institutes of health that state that peace is the journey and destination, all those affected by the winds, the rains, the snows, and the movement of the earth, that they are all protected and healed. As you're aware of your healing presence, and as you move toward your path, you notice anything changed, moved, or taken away. And when you're on your path, your mental and physical consciousness becomes aware, remembering all that you've seen, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. And when your mental and physical consciousness is fully aware, open your eyes. Hello.
Hi.
There we are. Welcome back. All right. Okay, let's see here. Casey, how did you do in your meditation?
I got emotional. There was tears coming down my eyes. I went into the crystal water, and then when I went in, as I got out of the water, I was in a castle, and I was a king, and I was walking through the castle. It was night, and my people that were in the kingdom with me were very loving and compassionate, and I felt the same like overjoy of love and compassion. And they said, "Are you ready to do what you do nightly?" And I said, "Yes." And so they disrobed me from my king and my crown, and they put me in a very simple peasant-like garb. And it was raining, and I walked out of the castle, and I had money with me, gold coins, and I started getting really emotional. I started walking around the castle and where everyone lived in the kingdom, but I went as not the king. I went in disguise, and I would walk around and see people who were with kids, who were on the streets, and these muddy, muddy streets and these cobblestone roads. And I would, like if there was two boys or two girls or a girl and a boy, I would get down to their level and say, "What's your names?" And there were a lot of English names coming through. So I can tell it was like England or somewhere around there. And their mother was typically there. I didn't see many fathers with these kids. It was mostly mother and children. I'm assuming the father may have passed, maybe through war or whatever it may be. And then I would hand them equivalent of like $500 worth of gold coins. And I would said, there is a place that the king has created that has shelter and food for you all. And I want you to be aware of that, because not everyone knows this. And, I want to send my love to you all. And again, I was bent down toward the kids' level. So I was looking them in the eye. I wasn't above them. I was with them. And I would just give them the biggest hugs. And the mother would be like, "Thank you so much," because $500 in gold coins, could feed them for a long period of time. And also letting them know where they can go. That's a safe haven for them. That was created by the king. I never took credit as I didn't want to. I wanted to come from a place of anonymous giving and gifting. And I did this all around the whole area. There was a bunch of, families like that. And then I went back into the castle, and my people who helped me there, they disrobed me from the very soaked cloth that I was in. I was put into my chamber, which is a very simple, it wasn't like elaborate. There was no gold. It was a very simple chamber for my sleep. And I get into my pajamas at the time, and I get into the bed, and the person that was me took a break, and he said, "I am you and you am I." And that was it. But I got tears flowing. as I felt his love. And I guess it's me. I'm not sure.
Be sure.
Be sure. Be you.
Yeah, it felt me. It felt like me, a past life.
I say, yay.
Now get comfortable with that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Because I always say to people, if you've seen some of the videos, I'm like, we've been king and queens, you know. I'm like, come on, you know, live who you are. And in that sense, you know, a lot of king and queens sometimes they, take advantage. But
Yeah.
in your sense, that was definitely not the case. Beautiful.
Yeah. He was a kind king. I was a good person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Lady J, how did you do?
Well, I chose to go on a path, and very quickly there was a bench there. And it was, I mean, just out in the middle of nowhere. So I sat down and then I started doing the breathing. And it was kind of interesting. So I did the energizing breathing, where I breathe just through my nose. No, that's the calming. When I did through the mouth with the O, I did that one first, and then, but I didn't do the cleansing breath after. And then I tried the one with the pulse. It's like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time or something. I couldn't do that at all. I just, that's gonna take a lot of practice, I think. And also my pulse is going fairly fast today, probably 80. And anyway, then I decided to, so then I did the one with the whistling, the one in and out the nose, and then I did a cleansing breath. And I don't know what happened, but then I just went to absolutely blank mind, and these beautiful blues just kept wafting in front of me. So obviously that was very calming and very, I mean, my mind doesn't go blank very often. It tends to do it more when we're meditating than any other time. But it hasn't happened through this whole, I don't want to say catastrophe, but that's what started to come out. Through this whole packing and everything, I'm always thinking about what box to fill next, So today it just, like I say, just got into that real calm and just stayed there. It was really beautiful. And then the next thing I knew, you decided it was time to come back.
Yeah.
And I was ready to come back. I mean, I had quite a bit of, I don't, the time space continuum gets kind of mixed up when you're meditating.
Yeah. How long do you think that was for? Just random.
We do 7 minutes, don't we?
Well, in that case, that particular one was about 5 minutes.
Is that all?
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
It's amazing.
It didn't feel like 5 minutes.
It's amazing yeah, because I felt like I was probably 5 minutes in just the blues.
Yeah. I do find too, when something's difficult, a type, like a certain type of breath work, that's the one to work with. Like our body is saying there's something funky about this, like I need to, spend some time with it. But also in the same sense, that cleansing breath really helped you go into your consciousness in that way also. So there's two different variables going on, one is it's too rigid, that's when we do our development, for to get there. And then the other sense, at that moment, that's what you really needed. Thank you. So good.
Thank you.
Reverend David, how did you do?
Well, I saw my body, and there were parts of it that were being clear, and it gave me the indication of where my concentrations are to be. But it's becoming whole.
Mhm.
And the word come out that says, be patient.
Yeah.
I think that was a great word for all of us.
They say the two most powerful words are hope and wait.
Yeah, patience is everything. Like,
Thank you.
thank you.
That was lovely. Thank you very much for guiding us.
You're welcome. So, okay, like I said, next week we're going to keep going with the other ones. We'll learn about pain. We'll learn, the different type for pain. We'll get into a couple, two of them, and we'll definitely practice the pain one. We just won't practice it for very long. Because like I said, I'm
Should I
pretty
wear a
sure-
diaper? I'm kidding. No.
it's kind of like, like I said with the Qigong thing, after we're done, we always say, you might need to use the facilities or get some water because we just did a lot of movement here, and they're very small. So it's very impressive what our bodies can do, what healing work we do. So thank you so very much for being a part of this. And we'll do our gratitude. So thank you. Mother, Father, God, we give gratitude and thank yous for this day. We ask for your infinite light of protection to be with us and through us as we go on our path. So when we meet those on our passage, we share the love that's so abundant. We give thanks for this day. Amen. Thank
Amen.
you. I'm going to
Thanks, everybody.